February 1st, 2021. Walking on the treadmill, watching Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, the old one, not old one, but the kind of old one. I think it was from 2000. The one with Mary Jane. That shit gets super boring in some spots. But it's pretty good. So it's a decent movie. I wonder if Mary Jane like represents Stan Lee's love of weed from back in the 60s or whatever. He was from Mary Jane. That would be awesome. That's how I'm gonna look at this movie. Saw on the news, Black Lives Matter got nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, which I ain't surprised because they deserve. Motherfucking Black Lives Matter is the shit. Like, them motherfuckers thinking on a level so much higher than everybody else. Like, when they came out, and it's not even they came out, it's not a group, it's a fucking, when the words Black Lives Matter started being said, I just thought that shit was brilliant. You know what I'm saying? Because right away, it's like you putting these fucking racist motherfuckers in a corner. It's like, you know, they don't believe Black Lives Matter, but at the same time, if they say it, that makes them racist. Because if you don't believe somebody matters, you a fucking piece of shit. And if you openly run around publicly talking about Black lives, what? They don't matter. That's a fucking terrorist group, and all the crazy shit that these asshole corporations, these asshole cops, religious organizations, politicians, all these fucking assholes, when Black Lives Matter first came out and motherfuckers was saying the shit, we're talking all kinds of fuck shit about the simple fucking truth that my life matters, that my kids are fucking important, just as important as yours. That's all that statement means. It means my fucking life matters. And all these assholes, cops, all lives matter, blue lives matter. They was all talking that shit because they was just so fucking racist that they couldn't hold back. They knew they should have shut the fuck up and just agreed. Because if you ain't racist, then Black Lives Matter is not a crazy statement at all. It's just what you call a simple statement of truth. Black Lives Matter. Duh. So the only motherfuckers that got caught up in that shit are the racist motherfuckers. And not only that, the motherfuckers that are so racist that they couldn't help themselves but go public with their hatred. Be like, what? Black Lives Matter is a motherfucking terrorist organization. All lives matter. Blue lives matter. Every single motherfucker that said that shit, instead of just saying, Black Lives Matter, yeah, that makes sense to me. It's a simple fucking statement of truth. If them words, simple fucking words, pissed you off, made you have to come up with a fucking different statement to go against that, like all lives matter or blue lives matter, you sat there fucking racking your brain about what you could say against this simple statement, but you wouldn't show that you're racist. You dumb motherfuckers, they put you in a corner. The only thing you could do was very obviously agree with something so simple and obviously and truthful. Or you make any fucking statement against it. It shows that you a racist motherfucking piece of shit. And it's that simple. And it don't matter if you didn't understand it in the beginning and you understand it now. your first instincts were to go against those simple words of truth, then you a racist fucking piece of shit. And they caught your ass. Now that it's politically feasible and everybody fucking understands the fucking truth, there's a lot of these motherfuckers trying to act all brand new. Like, oh, we was always down with Black Lives Matter. We was always down with that shit. But no, you wasn't. You down with it when you very belatedly figured out that you were in the fucking wrong side of history. That's when you motherfuckers realized, because motherfuckers couldn't wait to kick Colin Kaepernick out the fucking National Football League. You couldn't wait for that shit. Cap was doing something that was just very fucking obvious. He's protesting police brutality, and y'all motherfuckers couldn't wait to get rid of this man and try to fucking turn him into something fucking kind of demon. His own punk ass moms came out against him. Charles Manson's life and Mother Teresa's life are equal. Nobody's better than anybody. Even Charles Manson isn't, or Mother Teresa is not better than Charles Manson. She might turn out to be a better person and do better things, but her life was not more important than a piece of shit like Charles Manson. You know why? Because we're all fucking equal. So any asshole that got a problem with the statement Black Lives Matter, fuck motherfucking inbreds like Gomer. If there has ever been a face that matched the name more than Louis Gomer, I don't know who, man. Fucking hillbilly, that fucking inbred was one of the politicians that was calling Black Lives Matter a terrorist group. Think about this shit. If the fucking if our representatives, which they never are, but if they're supposed to be the best of us, think about the motherfuckers that Louis Gohmert must represent. If he is the best of them, you got some backwoods, inbred, motherfucking heels have eyes type fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's who he represent, then. Fucking hillbilly. Got the nerve. Nobel Prize is going out to Black Lives Matter because they spread. It's not just about Black lives in America. It's everywhere. And there's a lot of places that fucking copied their style. It wasn't even about black people. It was about a minority. It could have been a religious minority. It could have been a racial minority. Not necessarily a different color, but a different race. Or a different ethnicity that were rising up against the majority. You know, sick of getting fucked with. A lot of them follow Black Lives Matter protests, and they did their own. They put their own flavor on it. That's why they legitimately deserve the Peace Prize. February 2nd, 2021. Walking on the treadmill, watching The Amazing Spider-Man. So this ain't the one I thought it was. This must be from like 2010, because it's not the Tobey Maguire one, but it's not that what is his name, Tom Holland or something like that, the one that's been in Avengers. It's not that one either. It's the one that was in the middle, and it's not Mary Jane. It's Gwen. I have had this motherfucking DVD for I don't know how long, and I didn't watch this one for shit because I don't remember none of this shit. But It's starting out really stupid and slow as fuck. They got the dumbest fucking bully I ever seen in my life on this motherfucker. As far as the news, they talking about dipshit was this close to trying to order the fucking military to step in and help them do martial law. They said they had like some conspiracy theorists on Giuliani's side going up against the fucking White House counsel that still had, knew what the fuck they was talking about. And they got in a heated argument. Michael Flynn trying to talk this motherfucker into doing martial law. The reality is, I'm sure he tried martial law. I'm sure he went to the generals, because he's a piece of shit like that. He changed the secretary, Sec Def, just like all them motherfuckers changed over. There's a gang of motherfuckers in the Pentagon changed over around January or at the end of December, somewhere around there. I remember that shit. And then I'm sure they was just like, no, we ain't gonna do that shit. Fuck the military staying out. Matter of fact, a whole bunch of secretaries of defense I forgot about that shit, but they wrote a paper talking about how the military should stay out of this shit. And like the last 10 secretaries of defense wrote a letter in like early January talking about fucking army need to stay out of this shit. Let Trump do his thing. Don't get involved. They had to write a fucking letter to make sure all these motherfuckers understood that they need to stay the fuck out of this shit, because Trump was sweating them. AOC, she was like, man, all y'all motherfuckers that think that it was just a big funny jaunt through the goddamn Capitol and it wasn't no big deal because it's just a bunch of middle-class, middle-aged white motherfuckers, so you don't think it was no big deal and he wasn't scared. She described that shit. She was hiding in the bathroom while motherfuckers was slamming around, fucking screaming out, where she at? And let me tell you something. Even though the motherfucker that was screaming that shit turned out to be a cop that was looking for her and just didn't know how to make himself be known that he was on her side, I guess she thought that motherfucker was coming for her, as in he was part of the mob. She wasn't about to motherfucker say, oh, here I am. She didn't know it was a cop, and she didn't know that cop was on her side, because apparently there was quite a few cops that were dirty as fuck. I mean, who knows how many, and I ain't finna get into all this shit, but the people that experienced that shit, man, they didn't see that shit as just a friendly jaunt, and they shouldn't. Because no matter what dipshit says about, oh, nothing happened, there's no big deal, these guys trespassing at the worst, they fucking may get a slap on the wrist, which is what he's looking for. You think about that shit. They could have got their hands on motherfucking AOC, Nancy Pelosi, Mike Pence, anybody that's easily recognizable as a fucking Democrat or sellout Republican, as they was calling all these motherfuckers that wasn't kissing Trump ass hard enough. You think for 1 second, I mean, they killed a fucking cop. They murdered him. They fucking smashed him over the head with a fucking fire extinguisher. And we didn't talk enough about fucking how much I feel about cops, so I ain't finna get into that shit. But the thought that these assholes who erected a motherfucking a fucking hangman's noose. Like, they fucking built one. Like, these motherfuckers came ready like that. And the only reason you come ready like that is because you feel you have the full permission of the President of the United States. Man, if these Republicans weren't such pieces of shit, this is a fucking slam dunk case. You got Trump geeking these assholes up before the election, telling my motherfuckers gonna cheat. And the only way he could lose is if motherfuckers cheat. And look how many fucking yard signs is out there. And look how fucking many people come to see me. Like, it's just stupid, childish fucking excuses. That's all he had. But these motherfuckers went with that shit. And they killed a cop. Knocking down zombie apocalypse barricades and shit. And they want to just be like, oh, we was just fucking around. We wasn't really going to do nothing to nobody. Because they failed. A bunch of fucking failures. A fucking bunch of losers. They failed. And they fucking mad. If they fucking douchebag lost. And they were willing to kill motherfuckers in a stupid ass mob mentality. And I've been in a mob before, and I know how stupid those motherfuckers can get. They would have fucking killed AOC. They would have killed Nancy Pelosi. They would have killed any fucking Democrat or Republican that they had beef with. They would have. Maybe if they were off on their own as just normal fucking citizens, they wouldn't have. But when you get in a fucking mob like that, I mean, Jesus Christ, we saw how the fucking shit started. These motherfuckers pushed the fucking police out of the way. That's how they got up in the fucking shit in the first place. There was like 5 to 10 cops, about 20 motherfuckers on the other side, and they pushed the fucking barricade. And there was a girl cop at the end, which is stupid. You don't have a fucking one of your weaker motherfuckers at the end of some shit if you're gonna be smart. You have that shit spread out. She got pushed over. The right side of the barricade gets pushed over on top of her. She gets a concussion, and they just all strolled in after that. Some cops tried to fucking say stop and all that shit. Some cops tried to fight. But it was pretty quick where they was like fighting 20 to 1. So they just had to back the fuck up on that. Once again, if those were Black Lives Matter motherfuckers, they would have at least been shooting motherfuckers with rubber bullets before they even got close to them stairs. Rubber bullets, mace, and all that shit. And they had it. They just chose not to use it. They chose to try to argue with these motherfuckers and debate. But in reality, if they really wanted to stop that shit, they could have lined all them assholes up with fucking rubber bullets and they goddamn tear gas instead of fighting hand to hand. Fucking retarded shit against 20 to 1. They could have been shooting motherfuckers like they've been doing in Portland since the day George Floyd got choked. Shooting motherfuckers with them rubber bullets. Blinding bitches. These motherfuckers ain't shit. I don't feel sorry for these cops at all. I feel like they saw a bunch of white, middle-aged, middle-class motherfuckers coming, and they didn't take the threat serious. A threat that all of us could see coming from fucking a mile and months away. These assholes chose to just fucking try to show reason to the mob. And they got mobbed. And that fucking mob was gonna kill people. When they were all geeked up by dipshit. It's dumbass conspiracies. Now they got another one of them motherfuckers, that Marjorie moron. And it's Bobert. And you take motherfucking goddamn Louis Gohmert and Trump behind the scenes, these bitch ass Republicans is building a motherfucking Legion of Doom. They taking all the worst of the deplorables. They're putting them all together in a room and seeing what kind of fuck shit they can think up. Anyway, cops fucking sprayed a goddamn 9-year-old girl with fucking mace. So yeah, and it was a chick. So all this bullshit about how fucking female cops is better and all that shit, more understandable. Fuck that shit. There's a female cop that walked up in that man's house and shot the shit out of him because she supposedly thought it was her house. None of them are better. They all suck. And there's a female cop and a man cop maced a fucking 9-year-old little girl because she had the audacity to be screaming for her dad. People that call the cops suck. The fact that the cops still ain't fucking bringing goddamn people like social workers and mental health workers so they can handle that shit instead of a bunch of dumbass 20-something dipshits that don't know what the fuck they're doing and can't handle a 9-year-old girl. I worked with kids before. There ain't no way in hell you could tell me that there was any excuse to fucking mace a 9-year-old fucking girl. Get the fuck out of here. Like, the way they treat these motherfuckers is just fucking insane. They let these crazy white motherfuckers walk up the goddamn stairs and go hunting for fucking congressmen. You know, speaking about panic, motherfucking AOC, she's talking about that feeling when the mob was closing in on her. She thought when she describing that fucking trap feeling, that's panic. Man, I only felt panic a couple times in my life, but I don't like that fucking feeling. Just like you just have no control over nothing. I don't like that feeling. I understand exactly where she coming from with that shit. That shit ain't cool. These motherfuckers, man. Speaking of shitty cops, they should have brought some fucking mental health professionals with them. Like, okay, they maced a little black girl, 9 years old. They walk an old white bitch down the stairs, making sure she all comfortable and shit. But we know if them motherfuckers was black or Mexican, it wouldn't have been like that. And you know how I know I could say that shit without having to fucking even think about it? I don't need to see nothing on the news about it. Another time, I was living in downtown Salt Lake. I'd say it was 3rd South and some apartments right behind the Maverick. So it must have been like 9th East. So about 3rd South and 9th East. Living in these apartments. And it was like a whole bunch of fucking shit going on down the street. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm nosy, but I ain't finna go stick my nose in no shit. And there's a gang of motherfucking sirens and flashing lights going on about 3/4 of a block down the street. It's more than a half block, definitely not a full block. There's all kinds of shit going on, all kinds of motherfuckers standing around. I think this is probably when I still had a warrant, so I wasn't finna be fucking around, no matter how interesting it was. But anyway, so I just, you know, I think I was either coming off work or Maybe I was already chilling at home and I just saw all the flashing lights, just poke my head out to see what was going on. But I'm like, I think 1 second I'm like looking out my bedroom window trying to see what that is. What's going on, because you can hear like motherfuckers talking and kind of yelling back and forth and shit. And then, man, all of a sudden the fucking night turned into motherfucking 4th of July for like, I don't know how many seconds. I say 3, maybe 3 seconds, 3, 4, 5 seconds, something like that. But, I mean, these fucking cops, they let loose with everything they had. And there had to be about 10, 15 of these motherfuckers. They shot the shit out of this dude. I panicked. I'm like a fucking damn near a block away from these motherfuckers. And I remember when I heard that motherfucking shoot go off, I just like jumped away from the motherfucking window and covered up and just was like shook and just didn't know what to fucking do for a second. They let loose with automatics. They let loose with pistols. And they let loose with motherfucking shotguns. It was thunder. So you think it was probably like some kind of robbery going on. You think it's probably crazy motherfucker with a gun. Actually, it was. It was a Mexican dude was about to kill himself. He's this motherfucker's talking shit about suicide. He's sitting in his car, and I guess he had a pistol in his mouth or put it to his head or something. So, to solve this problem, let me see. This was probably 15, 20 years ago. To solve this problem, these assholes send the SWAT team. It's a motherfucker about to kill himself. And they send the fucking SWAT team. Now, if it was a rich white motherfucker threatening to kill himself, would they have sent a bunch of itchy trigger finger motherfuckers? Or would they send somebody to try to negotiate, talk him down? Because I don't know what the fuck happened, but I say within, they were definitely talking to him, so I say within 10 minutes from the time I first noticed the flashing lights, from the time till the time the dude got shot to shit, it's about 10 minutes. So they were talking to him, but it was clearly the SWAT team that was talking to him. And what is SWAT always dressed in? Shields, motherfucking helmets, goddamn body armor all over the place. So I don't know exactly what happened, but let's just say this crazy motherfucker that's about to kill himself, motherfucking takes the fucking gun away from his head and either acts like he's about to point it at somebody or points it at somebody. One of the cops. These motherfuckers got body armor on. They're here to stop this dude from killing himself. Why did they fucking kill this dude? And they did kill him. They fucking I gotta imagine from what I heard, there wasn't much left. They were surrounding that car. They were within 10 feet, I'd say, of that car. They weren't right up at the window, but they were all circle. There was a big circle of SWAT around this motherfucker car. Like, some of them were elevated and shit. They had this motherfucker surrounded. And at some point, somebody said, go. And then once one motherfucker goes, everybody goes. So they shot the shit out of this dude for a couple seconds. But here's the thing. Not only was this dude trying to kill himself, so it would have been much better served to send anybody but the SWAT. Maybe you send SWAT in for defense, you know, to protect whoever they need to talk this dude down. And then if the dude kills himself, then hey, that sucks. Imagine how traumatized his family was. They interviewed his family on TV. I remember the shit. And they were like, man, he was just upset. He just fucking upset. He's having a hard time. And the girl that was talking, I don't know if it was his sister or his girl, but she was upset that they fucking did him like that in front of the kids and everything. It's like, they don't give a fuck if you ain't white, man. And really, I wonder if it, because they shot some fucking white kid. Probably it's a little bit poor neighborhood. But they shot a mentally held kid that was having a mental health crash, and they shot him as the answer. I don't know, they try to say he threw something at him or some shit. Or somebody said he had a gun. These fucking pigs are always yelling out, he's got a gun, as they fucking excuse to shoot the shit out of somebody. And the kid didn't have a gun. So, it just fucking, I don't know. I keep going off on this shit, but I keep seeing it. So it keeps fucking pissing me off. Stop talking about this shit. I remember when I first got on Facebook, probably like 15 years ago, so. And some of the white motherfuckers I grew up with in Minnesota, I get at them a little bit, talk to them. And that shit got old quick. Because how the fuck we live in the same motherfucking country, living the same life, watching the same fucking news, and these motherfuckers just don't get it. It's like you try to explain to them how fucking infuriating some shit is. Like, I remember telling this motherfucker that I definitely thought had a brain. And I'm explaining to this dude how fucked up it is that in our city that we grew up in, the chief of police or whatever, the head of the fucking cops, is this well-known racist motherfucker. Like, this ain't just me saying, oh, this dude is insensitive. No, he called my brother or my cousin the N-word and then pushed him. And it wasn't when they was little kids. They was in like 10th or 11th grade. My cousin proceeded to whoop his ass all up and down that hallway. He beat that dude's ass in front of everybody. So a motherfucker that was racist got his ass whooped by a black dude in front of all his racist buddies. And that's the dude they chose to be the head of their fucking police department. So I'm like, fuck Crosby. Seriously. It's like, that just shows you. 15 years ago, I seen some shit on fucking CNN where some asshole Southern cop was talking shit about how he wanted he was a sheriff. He wanted the black people in his county to be afraid. Like, this piece of shit, this fucking guy gets on CNN and has the audacity as an elected official to say, yeah, I want the black people in my fucking county to be scared. Because that's how he sees us. He don't want us just living. He don't want us just chilling. He don't even want us fucking being able to drive through. He wants us to be scared. Fucking pig got on goddamn national TV and said this shit. And I gotta explain to some asshole that did have a brain how shit like that is upsetting to black people. And these white motherfuckers is like, oh, gee whiz, guy. I never knew it was like that for you. Really? You didn't? Lying motherfuckers, man. It's all this fucking bullshit where everybody pretending that they don't see shit. It's a fucking major problem. February 2nd. Walking on a treadmill. Hey, it's some real shit happening today. Like, Alexei Navalny, I think that's his last name, in Russia. This motherfucker, okay, Putin is a fucking dictator. Alright, he pretends to have elections and all that shit, but really, he don't. It's like a couple of years ago, they had some motherfucker win an election. He was president, and then Putin just named himself prime minister or some shit. He's like, yeah, he's the president, but I'm the prime minister. I still run shit. So the dude that won the election didn't have no power. It's weird. And now he don't even fucking pretend. I mean, maybe he has elections. I don't even know if he has elections anymore. But that motherfucker is the absolute leader of Russia. And he don't take that shit. That motherfucker poisoned this dude. This Alexei Navalny. He poisoned him. He was gonna die. Like, he was poisoned for real. And if he didn't put that airplane, because he was on the airplane, and if he hadn't told them I had been poisoned before he like finally passed out from the pain, he would have died. They diverted the plane into Germany and then got him, fixed up. And then I guess he just went back to Russia a little bit ago. And he's been like talking that shit about Putin. And Putin ain't trying to hear that shit. So they just put this man in jail. There's already been a lot of protests and shit. But now they put him in jail for 2.5 years. For what? Surviving a poisoning? I don't know what they charged him with. But if these motherfuckers is really about their protest, Russia gonna blow the fuck up today and tonight. Maybe there'll be a revolution. Maybe they'll kick Putin out of office. It's highly doubtful, but I don't know. See how these fucking Russians treat protesters. Shit. These motherfuckers. Sometimes I be like, I don't know what it is about these fucking protesters, man, that I don't know if it's a race thing or if it's a left, right thing or a rich, poor thing. I don't know what it is with these cops here in America. But I am interested to see how they fucking treat like real protests in Russia. So I'm gonna watch some of that shit, see what happened today. I mean, it's not just pure race. It's clearly something to do with a left or right thing too. Because in Portland, man, them fucking riots, they was shooting motherfuckers. They, with them rubber bullets. Like, I saw them shoot this kid. This dude was probably not 20 years old. And he was doing one of them 80s, them things like they used to do in the 80s, that imitation of that movie, where he holds up a fucking goddamn boombox, like to his girl, and he's playing music to her. Like, the kid was doing that. And then one of them asshole cops fucking shot him right between the eyes with a motherfucking rubber bullet. Hey, this kid wasn't bum rushing they spot. He was across the street. Was very obviously not a threat. And he was white. And they shot that motherfucker right in his fucking face. I saw another journalist that got shot with them rubber bullets. Motherfucking blinded her. Fucking eyeball. Gone. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to call it. Ain't shit really going on. February 4th, 2021.
Here's one other thing. He has a star tattooed on his head.
I'm watching Spider-Man. Walking on treadmill. Ain't shit really going on. They didn't do nothing. The fucking Republicans was supposed to like make that fucking Marjorie bitch apologize for being a dick, but she ain't gonna apologize. And why the fuck make somebody apologize when you know they don't mean it? That's fucking stupid. This bitch. Why the fuck they put that bitch on the fucking, like, the education committee or whatever it is? It has like sway over the fucking all schools and shit. And they put this bitch who talks all kinds of shit about not believing in school shootings. Like, she talks shit. Running after kids that been involved in school shootings so she can get up in their face. How the fuck did they put her on the education board? Or the education committee or whatever it is. Like, what kind of message are they trying to send with that shit? Republicans are always playing these dumbass games. I'm sure there's Republicans that would fit well on the education committee. But why you gonna pick somebody like that? Motherfuckers always playing these stupid ass games. Liz Cheney had the audacity to fucking vote to impeach Trump. So all these fucking Republicans going after her publicly, but they had a secret ballot to remove her from power. Nothing. She won that shit overwhelmingly. So you know what that tell me? A lot of these fuck ass Republicans be talking all that maggot shit in public, but when it comes to like voting secretly, so they ain't gotta worry about shit. The motherfuckers know goddamn well that they wasn't finna vote Liz Cheney. Now, if that would have been a public vote, she would have been out. Because then they'd be worried about dipshit. Even though I don't know why, because he can't send no more mean tweets. And these 14-year-old girls in goddamn the Republican side of Congress, that's what they're so scared of. A mean tweet. That dipshit can't tweet no more. They need to grow their balls back. That's so lame, man. These motherfuckers are so beholden to dipshit. Not because they really thought that grabbing pussy was okay. Because they were scared he was gonna send out a mean tweet. Seriously, these motherfuckers is a bunch of 14-year-old sensitive ass girls. All of them. February 5th, 2021. Walking on a treadmill. Spider-Man. This one actually is pretty good. I mean, it starts out really slow, but it's the one where Sally Field is playing Aunt May, and Martin Sheen is douchey uncle. This dude's uncle stays up his ass. It's like this is the most douchey version of the uncle. Constantly on this motherfucker's ass. I can't remember what this kid's name is. I know I've seen him in other stuff. The one is playing Superman or Spider-Man. He's got a real generic Hollywood face. He looks like a mix of the dude that played Anakin and the dude that the teenager with all the hair and fucking the boyfriend in Stranger Things. That dude's like an exact fucking cross for them motherfuckers. I guess I'll see his name when the credits roll. But yeah, now that the action is going, it's actually pretty goddamn good. He's like more of the smart ass Spider-Man that's always throwing out them quips. Them little clever quips. Yeah, shit's stupid as fuck, but this one seems like he's the best at it. The Tom Holland one is like too much of a little kid. Felt all bad for him when he was dying in fucking Avengers and shit. Because he's too young. This one's about the right age for him. Tobey Maguire was way too old. But I don't know. This one's probably the best actual actor out of them too. But yeah, it's a pretty good movie. Sally Field's definitely the best Aunt May. I think the MILF from the Avengers, that Aunt May, is fucking ridiculous. Sally Field looks like the best Aunt May that I've seen so far. And she's just a decent actor. As far as the news, I feel like I owe 14-year-old girls a goddamn apology. Because I need to stop goddamn comparing these fucking cravens to 14-year-old girls. These motherfuckers, a better comparison to the Republicans in Congress is snake. These motherfuckers is some snakes. So yesterday, Democrats did their fucking job for them. They's too bitch made to take this fucking moron off of the fucking education committee themselves. Some Democrats had to come in and be the fucking adults. This was like a layup for the Republicans. And the bitch get out and give some fake ass non-apology because she sure as shit didn't apologize. She was just like, you guys don't get me. I said that shit like forever ago. It was like 2018. I was barely 40. The bitch, that was her apology. It was so long ago. The fuck is the problem? I don't know. Shit's ridiculous. So Democrats gave that bitch the boot. Fuck out of here. And just like you knew she was gonna do, bitch got on motherfucking Twitter talking shit because the fake ass non-apology was all bullshit. That's why I didn't even think she would do it. I didn't think she would get up there and say anything but be defiant like Trump. But she shitted on her QAnon fucking views, and she pretended that she was never had anything but respect for the survivors of those school shootings. Fucking, so she's a lame ass politician on top of being everything else, because she didn't stick by her fucking views and values. And those ridiculous, gross, racist, ignorant values, that's why them fucking morons sent her to Congress. They like that shit about her. So for her to shit on that, wasn't very fucking smart. And she didn't get what she wanted from it. So she's stupid, a fucking loser. And she threw her fucking QAnon dickheads under the bus, talking about she don't believe that shit no more. Back in 2018, I was given some wrong information, but I don't believe that no more. Like, yeah, right, bitch. You don't fucking change when you've been rewarded for your shitty behavior. You get worse. And the bitch got on motherfucking Twitter this morning talking about these stupid fucking morons. The fucking morons. Democrats removing me. It's like, in a way, the bitch is right, because they have elevated her ass. I'm telling you, this bitch is gonna be running in 2024, and she gonna have all the maggots behind her. So, yeah. So yeah, that bitch is out. And she's not out of Congress. I mean, this is the whole thing, that the fucking Republicans should have did this shit, because it's not like they was kicking the bitch out. They was telling her, we don't want you in charge of education when you don't believe in fucking school shootings and you believe in harassing kids. Why you got a gun on you? Like, that's not hard. But they didn't, because they so fucking scared. These motherfuckers are so scared of their own base. Democrats should be scared of their base like the way these asshole Republicans is. Because the base of the Democrats actually got some goddamn good ideas. Take care of people that can't take care of themselves. Healthcare shouldn't fucking break you. We should all be equal. Cops shouldn't be beating the shit out of people. Those are good ideas. Motherfuckers should fight for them the same way these ignorant assholes on the right fight for their terrible ideas. The Democrats ain't nowhere near scared of their base. These fucking Republicans is. And that's some bullshit. We need to get rid of these motherfucking moderates. Anyway. Oh yeah. Fucking Georgia. These motherfuckers, man. Alright. So, it's fucking Clinton. Yeah, I wrote this story when I was like in my early 20s. And I always wondered what kind of like movie it would be. Like, if a motherfucker really turned this shit into a goddamn movie, I think it would be entertaining. Because it's a short story, so it'd be a short movie. And it's like based on a true story. So that kind of makes it even more interesting to me. It like goes, this dude's getting off work and shit. He's in a rush to get home from work because his girlfriend's hitting him up, bitching about how he's taking so long because he promised to take her to this fucking movie and the opening day of it. You know what I'm saying? So she's like sweating him, and he's like, rushing to get home from work. So they get home. He gets home, and she's like all up in his face at first about how he should have fucking figured out a way to get home faster, and she's just bitching at him because she's a bitch like that. This is a mixed couple too. She's white girl, kind of chunky. Black dude, kind of stupid. Chick be nagging him a bunch. So it's like, as she's like nagging him, he's like, fuck it. and so they start arguing and shit. But they're like gathering all the things that they're gonna ingest. All the drugs that they have ready, all the alcohol, and they get shots and shit for them, getting everything ready because they want to get fucked up before they go to this movie. Both of them were kind of excited to see it, but the critics totally shitted on this movie, so they had a pretty good feeling that this movie's gonna be a piece of shit, even though they really wanted to see it. So they're gonna get fucked up. They get cocaine, they got fucking heroin, they got all kinds of alcohol, pretty much mushrooms, acid, everything. They ain't finna get fucked up as fast as they can. And I guess it's like something like they only got like an hour from him getting home from work to getting to this movie on time. So they're like arguing with each other, and then at some point she starts to kiss him, and then they start like messing around. They take it to the bed, and the bitch is like, we ain't got time for this shit. You know what I'm saying? So we need to start while we're doing it. So while they're having sex, the dude lights up a blunt, and they start fucking smoking it back and forth and sharing it and shit. Then, she's like, to me it's funny as fuck because she's like hitting the weed, and she can tell he's about to finish, and she's like tapping him as she's hitting the weed and shit. Bouncing all over the face, the fucking legs flopping everywhere. And she's like, don't come inside me, basically. She's like, don't finish inside me. And then you can tell that the dude finishes inside her anyway. Anyway, this is like that type of couple. So they get up. They're both fucking gross. You know what I'm saying? Because of what they just did. So they get up, and it's like a race. This will probably be like some kind of montage where it's like a race between them getting dressed, very superficially wiping themselves off, and doing all these drugs as fast as they can. And then like the stupid, like she fucking mama birds him, like where she pours a bunch of liquor in her mouth and spits it into his mouth. It's just like a fast edit cut montage of them doing all kinds of drugs. Like getting seriously fucked up. Doing all kinds of drugs and drinking. So they get all that shit, and the movie theater is like 2 blocks away, so they're just gonna walk. So they're fucked up. I mean, they are to the wind by the time they're walking out. They got 10 minutes to get to the fucking movie theater. 2 blocks, they gonna make it. They stumbling and still smoking weed on the way to the fucking movie theater. Throw it out as they hit the door. These people are fucked up. They get in there, get their tickets, get some popcorn, drinks, candy and shit. The motherfucker that's selling them the concessions he could tell they're just gone. He could tell they're ripped. And he like smiles and shit. And he tells them that the theater's empty. You got it to yourselves. He's like, nobody came to this thing. You know what I'm saying? They were probably, the movie theater was probably expecting it to be a big movie too. Because it got a lot of advertisement and the trailers look really good. But the critics, they said this movie was a piece of shit. And I guess it got out, so nobody came and seen it. So they gather their stuff, walk into the fucking theater, and just like the dude said, this motherfucker's completely empty. So they stumble to the middle, like right in the middle. They got the perfect seat right in the middle. 2 seats in the middle. Not too far, not too close, not too far behind. And the movie's just starting as they walk in. So they're fucking happy. They got the whole fucking movie theater to themselves. They're fucking gone. I mean, you ain't never seen nobody as drunk and drugged up, other than maybe like Cheech and Chong type shit, when they be like stumbling around on acid. In that one where he like date rapes a chick. And we all used to think that shit was funny, but I bet if we watch that shit now, it'll be like, yeesh. But anyway, that's how fucked up these people were. They are gone. And pretty much right away, they can tell that this movie's a piece of shit. It's bad acting. It's not shot well. And the trailer showed all the goddamn good shit. So they pretty much knew everything that was going to happen. This movie, they understood within 5 minutes that this fucking movie sucked. So, thinking that they're alone, they just started complaining about how much this fucking movie sucked. It was like talking all kinds of shit all the way through this fucking movie. I'd say within 10 minutes, they're like throwing shit at the movie screen, talking about how fucking boring this movie is and how it's never gonna get any better. And they just saying all like, fuck this movie, and throwing milk duds at the fucking the screen, and then taking ice cubes out of the drink and throwing them at the screen, and just being loud as fuck because they don't give a fuck. Nobody else is in here. And I say they're about a half hour into this movie, and they both realize that there's a pretty good reason why why this movie theater's empty. This movie sucks. And they're pretty much, all their snacks and shit are gone. These motherfuckers are totally fucked up, but they are just having a shit time at this movie, and they're done throwing shit and being obnoxious. And then the guy is like, man, let's just go. I'm fucked up. I want to go have some fun and shit. He's like, this movie sucks. You know what I'm saying? The whole time they're talking in their loudest voices. You know what I'm saying? They're not speaking in movie voice. They're speaking in their full, loud, obnoxious, drunk, high voices. And as the guy stands up, he's like, fuck this shit, man. Let's just go. He's like stretching. He like kind of looks over and he sees in the corner of the movie theater, there's a fucking dude sitting there. They're not just a normal dude, a dude that clearly thought this motherfucking movie was gonna be the shit and people were gonna be there for this premiere, just like the couple did. But because he's dressed as a fucking tooth fairy. There's a grown, big, hairy, fat, white dude dressed in a tutu and fucking lipstick all over his fucking face. Hair all over his lips. Because he's dressed as a fucking and he's got a wig tooth on. Fairy. There's a grown, big, hairy, fat, white dude dressed in a tutu and fucking lipstick all over his fucking face. Hair all over his lips. And he's got a wig on and a little fucking tiara. And as this fucking guy is stretching, he notices him, and that guy is staring right back at him and just looking at him with bloody murder. I mean, he was looking like this, just staring at him, just fucking staring at his fucking soul. Because these people did not know that they weren't alone this whole time. They were, I mean, at some point the girl gets up and moons the projector, like the projectionist, because she figures there might be somebody back there. She said, "Fucking movie sucks." Pulls it past out and moons her. Like, they were so obnoxious for like the first half hour of this movie. You know, they would have never, even as fucked up and drunk as they were, they would have never been that off the chain had they known somebody else was in there. But who the fuck, out of all the fucking places you could sit in a fucking movie theater, who the fuck picks the very front row and the very farthest corner? You know what I'm saying? You got any choice of any fucking seat in the movie theater. This dude clearly got there early, way earlier than we did. And I don't know if he's trying to be polite to the rest of the crowd, or if he's a crazy motherfucker that just wants to sit and watch a movie like this the whole time. But that dude got there before the couple did, and he chose to sit in the far fucking front corner. So they didn't know he was there the whole time. And right away, number one, this big crazy hairy motherfucker dressed in a goddamn as a tooth fairy, because the movie was about the tooth fairy. That's the whole thing about it. You know, the movie was about Tooth Fairy. This dude's dressed up as Tooth Fairy. He's clearly a super fan. Now, why he's such a super fan of this movie, I don't know. Maybe he has some attachment to the person that wrote it. Maybe he has some attachment to the Tooth Fairy. Whatever it was, this dude clearly wanted this movie to succeed. He was geeked up for it. And not only was he supremely disappointed when it flopped, but now he's watching this movie after he got ready and he's fucking embarrassed. And I don't know if he's embarrassed. Maybe he's just a crazy motherfucker that was looking forward to a fucking Tooth Fairy movie. See, plastered lipstick all over his face and got some kid's ballerina uniform in. I don't know. And he could like figure that shit out. It's a short story, so you probably ain't got to go too deep into it. But this guy is staring daggers at this dude, at this couple, and this dude especially, because he stood up and he's like stretching and shit, talking about let's go fuck this movie, being, you know, just loud and obnoxious, they always. But then he sees him and he stops in mid-sentence as he's talking. He's like, "Oh man, let's get the fuck out of here, man. I'm fucked up. I want to go do something." And he sees the dude and he stops talking because the dude is staring at him so hard. Like, honestly, this dude looked fucking irate. And he looked scary as fuck because he dressed in a fucking goddamn tutu. So as he's stretching, he like taps his girl and kind of points her to the fucking corner, and she sees the guy too. And now she tenses up. She's like, "Oh, what the fuck? There's been somebody in here the whole time." Like, even though they're fucked up still, they understand how fucking rude they have been right away. Because they wouldn't have been that way if they known he was there. These people were drunk. You might even call them assholes. But they understand etiquette, and they, as fucked up as they were, they wouldn't have been that fucking obnoxious. So they both not only feel a little bit ashamed, but they're kind of fucking freaked out about the way this dude looks and the way he's looking at them. So they gather their shit and they like, get the fuck out of there. And they're like looking behind them and shit as they're walking out of the theater, and he's still just staring at them. He's fucking with his hate in his eyes. This dude has the hate of the world fucking blazing through his eyes at them. So they walk out of the movie theater. They're getting on their way back home. They're nervous, but they're still fucked up, and they're ready to have a good time. And they're kind of over it, over the rudeness and shit, because hey, it's not their fault. They're like, fuck, we wouldn't have been like that if we had known this fucking creepy, weird motherfucker was sitting in there. By the way, who the fuck sits in the goddamn front corner of a fucking movie theater when you got the choice of all the fucking seats? So it really, in their mind especially, wasn't their fault that they didn't see this fucking guy. Anyway, they get about a block away from the theater, starting to get more fucking comfortable and shit. The guy's not looking back behind them anymore. And all of a sudden they hear this rushing feet coming up on them. And the girl turns around just in time to see the guy running up on him, and he bends down and picks up a brick. And he like slows down to pick up the brick, and she sees the whole thing. She sees him grab the brick. He's about 15 feet away from him, and he throws that brick as hard as he can. Perfect aim. Boom. Hits her boyfriend in the back of the head. Knocks him out cold. As far as she can tell, this guy's probably dead. I mean, he got hit square with a fucking brick, thrown super hard. So he flops out. She screams. And after the guy throws the fucking brick, he just lunges at the chick. And as the movie like kind of backs away and fades away a little bit, you see him beating the shit out of the chick. Beating her to death. You know what I'm saying? This dude was pissed. They fucked up his movie. And then, as he's beating him to death, there's like a rewind where it rewinds back through the movie, but you're seeing it, their rudeness through his eyes. And he is crazy as shit, by the way. And it rewinds all the way back to where he's getting ready for the movie. And like the way they got ready for their movie, they got all fucked up. It shows him he's already got the tiara, he's already got the fucking tutu on. It's just, it rewinds to the last part of the movie. Is this dude like laughing and maybe saying, "Oh, I'm so pretty," or something like that, as he's putting on the final part of his costume, which is the lipstick. I mean, this shit looks crazy as fuck. Like, in my mind, it could be very entertaining short film if a motherfucker makes it the way that I just described. Anyway, that's my February 5th. I wanted to clarify that shit about masks. And I thought about that movie. And since this is my goddamn diary, I figured I want to put all that shit out there. Maybe one day my great grandson will see this shit and make the motherfucking movie. Alright. Now the actual story that happened, because it is based on a true story, but the actual story that happened was the dude gets home from work. No sex was involved. Any of that shit. There was an argument. They smoke some weed, take a couple shots, actually take quite a few shots. And they get fucked up, in a rush, because there wasn't no like hard drugs involved or any of that shit, but they did get pretty fucked up, and they did walk to the movie theater that was like 2 blocks away, and they were super obnoxious and loud and throwing shit at the movie screen because they thought they were alone, and there was some creepy motherfucker sitting in the front row of the movie theater fucking staring daggers at this dude who was me. as we were about to leave, as I got up and stood up to stretch. That's the first time I noticed this motherfucker after being in there for like a half hour. And we did leave the movie theater early, but obviously I didn't get killed. But it always made me think of what type of motherfucker, what type of crazy ass dude sits in the fucking front goddamn corner of a fucking movie theater when he's got all the fucking chairs to pick from. So he wasn't dressed in a tutu or any of that shit. He just dressed normally, but he definitely looked pissed off when we finally made eye contact. So I wonder how long he was staring at us. But yeah, that crazy motherfucker would have came over and said something, he would have got knocked the fuck out. Because this ain't Hollywood. So these stared daggers at us. We left. And, my imagination puts this dude in a fucking tutu and smearing makeup on himself at the end of the movie, because that just seems like a really good visual. I wonder what his apartment would look like. I wonder why he was so obsessed, like in the movie, why he is so obsessed with this movie. Like, there's somebody that he knows had something to do, was like a best boy grip or something like that in the movie. Something small, but you know what I'm saying, his name is gonna be on the credit. So this dude was geeked up for this movie, and he was really hurt that, the movie flopped. The movie that I'm talking about that we went to see that was a real piece of shit, it was Darkness Falls. And it was about Tooth Fairy, and it was a boring piece of shit. I mean, I watched it just a couple years ago because I saw it was on, and I figured, is it really that bad? And that movie is a piece of shit. I don't think I made it all the way through it again. I mean, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was because I was so fucked up. I just wanted to get the fuck out of there. The movie was boring as shit to me. But, I mean, I've seen a lot worse movies. But, yeah. That shit was a goddamn true story. And I would like someday for somebody to make that motherfucker into the way I described it. Because my brother made it like as a student film. You know what I'm saying? I told him about it the same way I just fucking described it. But he made it different. It was like the people weren't drunk. There was plenty of people in the movie theater. And the guy wasn't dressed up in no tutu or makeup or nothing. He's just one of many angry people. And these guys were not drunk or anything. They were just pure assholes that for some reason chose to be loud and obnoxious in this fucking movie theater, in this crowded movie theater. And in the end, the one of the people that was in the theater kills him at the end, basically in the way I described. But I was super disappointed in that shit, man. This is a very fucking short, very goddamn easily made movie, and a major fucking part of it is them getting fucked up, because that's what excuses the behavior. You know what I'm saying? Two sober motherfuckers, I don't care how much of an asshole you are, that's just not realistic. So I was extremely disappointed in that shit. And one day I would. Fuck, maybe I'll try to make the motherfucking one day. But that's my true story. I got other stories. Like one time when I got fucked with at Circuit City. Fuck that goddamn store. I'm glad those motherfuckers are gone. But fucking assholes was profiling me and shit. And I fucking complained to the goddamn corporate about that shit. And the corporate just jerked me off. So I went back into Circuit City and bashed the motherfucking manager who I cussed out the day before for fucking leading a mob to try to intimidate me, profiling me as some asshole, even though I'm a fucking DJ, so I'm shopping for music, trying to support these fucking pieces of shit. And they profiling my ass, following my ass around, like they gonna jump on me. I flipped the fuck out on these motherfuckers, and I cussed that motherfucker out. But I was pissed. So fucking corporate ain't give me no goddamn satisfaction. So I fucking go back to the store the next day. I take crowbar. I fucking walk up into that Circuit City. Same bitches at the fucking cashier. Because even though those fuckers profiled me, it's my job to have new music for my people. So I still bought that music. Even though these fucking assholes was fucking with me. And I really wish that I could have just motherfucking smashed everything in that motherfucker. I had a job to do that night, so I had to get that music. But anyway, the same bitch was at the fucking cashier, and she sees me at the last second as I walk up, and she looks at me and kind of breathes in, and I smack that bitch with a fucking crowbar. Before she can say anything. And it's a door. It's a door that's basically like about less than 10 feet behind the cash register. And that door is the manager's office. And the manager hears me hit the chick. Fucking, I see his little weasel head poke out. And he fucking slams the door. And you see me walk up to the door and boom, kick the motherfucking door in. And then it fades to a Circuit City camera, like one of their cameras, which is fucking another thing that pisses you off because they got cameras. Why the fuck they gotta try to intimidate a motherfucker and be watching a motherfucker and surrounding a motherfucker when you got cameras that if somebody's committing crimes, you can watch them without being all intrusive. Like they trying to make a fucking point fucking with me. So you see the camera. It's no longer shot from like a normal movie camera. It goes into the Circuit City camera that's pointed at the office. And all you see is like an arm and a crowbar going up and down, beating the shit out of this fucking dude. Clearly killing him. And then after that shit's over, it's like it fades to black and then it fades back in. And it has this dude sitting in jail, smoking a cigarette with not a smile, but what kind of looks like a satisfied look, like a satisfied almost grin at the end. Like I wrote this shit way before, but like Thanos at the end of Infinite, where he's sitting around after he snapped his fingers and he's kind of gives like a little smirk at the end. That's exactly how this dude looks sitting in his jail cell, smoking a cigarette as the fucking credits start to roll and it fades to black. This motherfucker was living a goddamn great life, but these people fucking put him through so much indignation that he couldn't take it. And he went fucking Hulk smash. And the cashier, she didn't have shit to do with nothing. She didn't do nothing. She looked ashamed. She felt horrible. She looked like She felt horrible about what happened, but this dude was so pissed off about the indignation he was shown that anybody that got in his way was getting knocked the fuck out. It was that simple. Fuck Circuit City. February 6th, 2021. Walking on a treadmill. Still watching Spider-Man. There's nothing going on in the news. The fucking news station's talking about football because there ain't shit going on. They getting ready for that impeachment trial in the Senate next week, but there really ain't shit going on. Fucking all these white nationalists, militias, assholes is getting together bitching. Cause a lot of them motherfuckers got thrown in jail in that fucking Trump riot. There's a lot of fucking cops that I gotta assume got fucking fired at least. That was in that Trump riot. It was cops on both sides of that shit. So those cops were on the side of a mob. There's some cops from Seattle, like 6 of them, I think, were on the side of a mob that killed another cop. Shit gets on my nerves so much how these motherfuckers is all individually being goddamn charged, because that was some gang shit. I don't give a fuck if it was a goddamn bunch of old white motherfuckers. That was some gang shit. That was some gangster shit they got into. And when you a kid and you get involved in some gangster shit, like say if it's like you break into some shit and say there's 10 kids and they go break into a motherfucking warehouse or something, smash in just like these assholes did in the fucking Capitol riot. Only one kid smashes through the fucking window, but they all go in and follow him. That same kid kills a fucking security guard by bashing him over the head with a fucking fire extinguisher. So only one kid broke the fucking window that got them all in, and only one kid actually fucking hurt somebody. All 10 of those kids would get charged with breaking and entering, and they would all get charged with assault or murder or whatever they could fucking get on all of those kids. Every single one of them would be charged. So I just think that it's bullshit, because there could have been a kid that just walked in there because he saw his friends going in there and just fucking follows them. Doesn't matter if he didn't break any window or anything, he would get charged with breaking and entering. That same kid that never thought about doing anything but just happened to follow his friends sees the fucking cop, the security guard, get hit over the head with a fucking fire extinguisher. Is fucking horrified just like almost all the other kids. And they choose right then and there, we're getting the fuck out of here. And even the kid that kills the security guard, he follows and gets the fuck out of there. Every single one of those kids will be charged with murder. They wouldn't just say, oh, you didn't have anything to do with it, so we just gonna fucking, we're not even gonna put breaking on yours, we're just gonna say entering, trespassing someplace. No, they would all be charged equally, because that's how they do black kids, and that's how they do poor people. But these white motherfuckers is all being individually charged, and that's bullshit. I saw some shit. You know how Trump was just whacking motherfuckers at the end of this shit. He couldn't wait to. He killed like 13 motherfuckers, I think. That were like federal death row prisoners. Because he shouldn't be doing death row. But this asshole couldn't wait to kill. Like, he killed a whole bunch of motherfuckers. Like, where the previous administrations and, you know, hadn't fucking wanted to do federal, you know, murder, or basically that's what it is. Federal death penalty. At the end of Trump's administration, that motherfucker whacked like 20 motherfuckers. That if they could have just made it through this bitch ass motherfucker's administration, Biden probably wouldn't have fucking killed him. Because death row is wrong. The death penalty is wrong. Because if you get 1 out of 100 wrong, then that means it's one motherfucker that the state has murdered. Now the reality is, there's some that say it's up to 4 in 100 could be wrong. So these assholes is whacking 4 people that ain't had shit to do with the fucking crime. The real fucking criminal or murderer is still out there. And they fucking government has murdered somebody. And they apparently, if you can average out 1 out of 400 motherfuckers, or 4 out of 100 motherfuckers has been wrongly executed by the fucking prison system. That's insane. They're killing 4% innocent people. So this isn't even a fucking question. You a fucking asshole and you a piece of shit if you believe that. I believe in revenge. If somebody hurts one of mine and I get a chance to get my hands on them, I'm gonna take it. I'm not gonna leave it up to the fucking law. And unless, this is where I believe in the fucking death penalty. If you have 100% incontrovertible, no fucking doubt, videotape proof that a motherfucker did something, then I believe if that's what the family wants, then the death penalty is legit. But when it's just some motherfucker's word, and then comes out years later that the DNA shows that this motherfucker wasn't even there, it's like, how fucking stupid can you be to take somebody's fucking word? And all throughout this fucking justice system in history, they have not treated people fairly according to race, color, gender. They don't treat people. Now, just because you be charged, it don't mean you're gonna be found guilty. And I think that's the difference. It's like, yeah, if 10 kids go up in the fucking warehouse, while they might all be charged, they're not gonna all hopefully be found guilty. The jury can look at the nuance, but the cops and the people that are charging, they always go for the hardest and maximum penalty when you're dealing with minority kids. These motherfuckers can't wait to fuck over a minority kid. I'm telling you, man, I seen that shit in action. Like, they treat us different. So, all I'm saying is, while maybe all of these motherfuckers would not be, obviously they wouldn't all be convicted of murder, they should all be charged with murder. Because that's how they would do if it was a gang of Crips. They would charge them all with conspiracy, all with murder, and then they let the chips fall where they may in their individual trials. Most of them will get off. But if you can find an accomplice as culpable for murder as the shooter, to the point where you put them both on death row, which is what happened with the fucking driver, because he's an accomplice. He's not pulling the fucking trigger. But you put that motherfucker to death. So not only did you charge him, you overcharged him, but the fucking punk ass jury and the punk ass judge that sentenced that shit thought it was okay to charge this motherfucker to the point where they put him on death row, and fucking dickhead goddamn carried out the sentence for driving, not for killing. So every single motherfucker step foot into that fucking Capitol, whether they did anything other than just take pictures and be like, oh, this is awesome, I always wanted to be in the Capitol, and never fucking touched the cop, never broke anything, it doesn't matter. They should all equally be charged with insurrection. I don't want to hear no fucking trespassing. They weren't trespassing. They were going to stop the Congress from certifying the fucking electoral college process. That's like the very definition of a coup. That was a fucking insurrection. Everybody wants to act like it's no big deal because it's their fucking Aunt Karen that they see on that shit. And Uncle Bob. Uncle Bob wouldn't really hurt nobody. Well, one of these fucking Uncle Bobs or Aunt Karens fucking killed a cop. So they can say all they want about how innocent and fucking these people would never really hurt a fly, which is always what they say about these white motherfuckers, man. Always making excuses for these fucking violent assholes. Because he just can't picture. Fucking piece of shit. I'm getting a fucking spam call. Fucking assholes. But these motherfuckers need to stop that shit, man, and recognize that your fucking Aunt Becky would have hung Mike Pence if she would have got her fucking hands on him, and Uncle Bob would have fucking raped AOC if he could have got his hands on her. These are not good people. They might be decent people in other circumstances in life, but when you think that it's a good idea to go up and fucking kill somebody, doesn't matter if you geeked up by the crowd or not, you should have removed yourself out of that crowd before you let yourself get geeked up like that. There's a lot more people could have got hurt. I get it. If these motherfuckers would have been more organized and had weapons, that shit would have got way more out of hand. But the reality is, these people were not just there to fucking trespass. It was not trespassing. They were there for a specific reason. They were told to go down there and let these motherfuckers know how they feel about how the Democrats stole the election and how they were gonna stop this. The last fucking thing they could do was stop the Electoral College and make Mike Pence somehow fucking stop it. Because Trump, once again, geeked him up, saying that Mike Pence could fucking somehow stop it. And he couldn't. Trump knew that shit. I imagine a bunch of fucking assholes in that crowd knew that shit. But enough of them didn't. If they went through with this shit. This was an insurrection. This was not a bunch of fucking moms and uncles and aunts and grandpas just out for a nice little fucking walk in goddamn Washington, D.C. These motherfuckers went to hurt people. kill people, threaten people, cajole to get their own way. And they brought a fucking gallows. They was gonna fucking hang Mike Pence if they could have got their hands on him. So fuck your Aunt Becky. Fuck your Auntie Karen. And Uncle Bob. Those motherfuckers are goddamn terrorists. Because if they would have got their hands, if they weren't a bunch of fucking failures, they would have killed and maimed. And the people that was on the other side of that fucking glass that they were breaking down were terrified. You could see it in their faces. There was terror. When you terrorize people for a political or religious or whatever ideology that you got on, you go and terrorize people in the name of that ideology, you're a fucking terrorist. So every single asshole that stepped up into that Capitol should be charged with insurrection, murder, as a domestic terrorist. They won't, because they white, but that's what would have happened in the other circumstances. That's why it sucks to be a fucking minority when you got such a piece of shit majority. Motherfuckers mistake the hard time black people have in this country where, oh, it's hard to be black. Oh, it's so tough to be black. Motherfucker, you know how much fucking fun I had being black in the 90s? Being a motherfucking Chicago Bulls fan, a motherfucking Tupac goddamn fan. You know how fun that shit was? Being black is the shit. We can hang out in the sun without bursting into flames. Being black is the shit. Being a minority when the majority is a fucking asshole is what sucks. And that's what motherfuckers have been living through for so long. It ain't got shit with these privileged assholes being white and motherfuckers having a hard time because they black. It's got to do with the fact that the majority is white and the minority is black. If you take most of the motherfucking kids that I grew up around, I will guarantee you the white ones, most of them didn't have nowhere near the fun that I was having, especially when I go back to Chicago. I was just having so much fun. Being black ain't the problem in this country. It's being under the goddamn thumb or the fucking foot or the knee of a majority that's a fucking, just a fucking mean, oh, get off my motherfucking lawn, just asshole. That's what the fuck we dealing with. People need to get their fucking understanding about this shit straight. Being black is the shit. We can do everything y'all motherfuckers can do. And the reality is, y'all can't do some of the shit that we can do. And that's just a fact. One of them is hang out in the sun. I ain't bragging, but I'm just saying, it's a fact that being black is good shit all around. Being a minority when the majority is a dick sucks. Whether if it was black people in charge and they were dickheads to white people, it would suck. And motherfuckers would be like, oh man, it must suck to be white. No, it sucks when you under the thumb of anybody. There's plenty of white motherfuckers that live under the thumb of other people, and it's weird, other whites, and it's awful similar to the way that we get treated. So this whole fucking shit is just, I don't know. Once again, it's a fucking stupid goddamn issue. Everybody just needs to start fucking treating each other equally and we wouldn't have all these fucking problems. But there's somehow too much to ask. Treat people the way you want to be treated. I wonder how long it's gonna be like this. Supposedly getting better. I mean, if you think about it, we had a black president that did not even come close to solving racism. But 50 years ago, we would not have had a black president in any fucking circumstance. So it must be getting better. The progress, man, and this shit is so fucking incremental. It's really hard to notice, especially when just last week or a couple days ago, 5 grown-ass white motherfucking cops couldn't control a little 9-year-old girl and they fucking sprayed her in the face with fucking mace. That's all I'm saying. We got a long fucking way to go. And you know when we'll be there? When a group of fucking middle-aged white motherfuckers smash and grab and fucking maim and hurt and kill, they get treated just like the rest of us. That's when we made progress. We're fucking long ways from that. Race, color, gender, they don't treat people fair. So when it comes to the ultimate punishment and the fact that these assholes don't treat people fair, and the fact that human fucking nature says that 4% or at least 1% of the people that they kill are innocent, it becomes such a fucking silly argument that the other side is a piece of shit on the highest level, because the other side will say, oh, well, you know, it sucks that 1% gets whacked or whatever. But when it comes down to if it was one of their relatives that fell into that 1% that was innocent and got whacked and you found out about it, those same assholes that advocate against would all of a sudden be, oh, we gotta stop this death penalty shit. So fuck them. Fuck them so hard. It's disingenuous. Anytime you can ask a question of, what if this motherfucking shit was happening to your relative or happening to you, how would you feel about it? If you come up with the answer, well, I wouldn't be okay with it if it happened to me or my relative, but fuck everybody else, then fuck you. You a piece of shit. The death penalty is wrong. Like I said, I've seen plenty of fucking cases where cops murder people on fucking tape and they barely get a slap on the wrist. But you just taking motherfuckers' words to murder people for the government should be out of the murder business immediately. Biden should definitely do something about that shit. I saw one of them people that fucking Trump had whacked. He didn't even actually do the murder. He was a fucking driver. Some dude killed somebody. This guy was driving him. And that guy the guy that was driving got put on death row. And then Trump murdered him. So this dude is known to not have killed anybody. And they still put him on death row. Don't remember his name. He's a black dude. But I do remember the story. It was probably about 2 months ago. And this dude didn't kill nobody. He just happened to be around when somebody got killed. And they put him on death row. Think about that shit. This motherfucker didn't kill nobody. He was driving. And motherfucker he was driving killed somebody. So he was just there. He was involved, but he didn't kill nobody. This is a true fucking story. He was involved, but he didn't kill nobody. All those people that went up into that Capitol, if they was a gang of kids, or if they was black, they would all be charged with insurrection. They would all be charged with the murder of that officer. Because as hard as these motherfuckers have been looking, they ain't gonna find no tape of what actually happened to that dude. Because they got motherfuckers looking at that shit studiously. And they ain't been able to find it. The moment where he got killed, they see him scrapping and pushing but not getting hit. And definitely not to the point where he would die from fucking brain contusion. That dude got hit in the head at some point with a fucking fire extinguisher, is what they saying. And they ain't gonna find it on tape. But you know what I know? If that was a gang of Crips or a gang of Bloods instead of a gang of old white motherfuckers, call themselves maggots. If it wasn't a gang of maggots, then every single one of them would be charged with that cop's death. Because they're a bunch of right-wing, middle-aged assholes. It's all individual. To the point where some bitch talking about motherfucker going shooting Nancy Pelosi in the fucking face. We just broke into the Capitol. We're gonna go see if we can shoot Nancy Pelosi in the head. The bitch put that shit on the fucking internet. She's talking that type of shit while she's assisting in breaking into the goddamn Capitol. Breaking down. They show her like breaking shit down. Like these people were all over. Not just the media, but they were recording themselves doing this shit. It was some other motherfucker on a bullhorn talking about, like, telling people where to go and how to coordinate and shit like that. This shit is... What if these motherfuckers weren't middle-aged, middle-class, white motherfucking conservatives, they would all be charged with insurrection and murder and attempted murder, the way they went in on some of these other cops that happened to just live through it. Some cop lost 3 fingers. Another cop was talking about how the fucking mob was screaming for them to take his gun and kill him with his own gun. Like they were saying this shit. These patriots.
There you go.
These law and order assholes were screaming to fucking take this cop's gun and kill him with it. So, I don't want to hear shit. Those fucking people that were involved with that shit should be all charged with that cop's murder. Every single motherfucker that stepped into that goddamn Capitol should be charged. Just like if it was 10 black kids went up in a warehouse, they would all be charged. February 6th. Ain't shit happening. It's February 7th, 2021. Walking on a treadmill watching Spider-Man. Ain't shit going on as far as like the news. It's motherfucking Superbowl Sunday. February 8th. 2021. walking on treadmill, still watching Spider-Man. God damn it. This movie is long as fuck, man. It's like got some good action. It's the one with the lizard. So I actually do kind of remember it. But not really. I just remembered that there was a lizard. But this was actually got some decent action, but goddamn, the fucking way they always slow these fucking Spider-Man down for romance. That's the only complaint I got about this fucking movie. When they slow this motherfucker down, man, they slow it down. Oh yeah. I fucking picked the Super Bowl. Again, no idea. I fucking crushed these motherfucking playoffs. If I was a goddamn gambler, I would have fucking killed it. I don't know why I don't gamble. I got so much fucking football like wisdom from knowledge over time. Like I've watched so much of this shit that I really do be knowing. It's like all these jackasses on fucking ESPN talk about, who would have thought? Who would have thought that Bruce Arians without Coach Andy Reid? Who would have thought? Me? Fucking called that shit. It's not because they didn't have a better team. Can't count on Andy Reid, man. That motherfucker seems like a really nice dude and like a decent coach, but he one of them dudes that, you know, just delegates everything to his offense coordinator and his defense coordinator. Then he just stands around and answers the questions and makes the tough decisions off the field. But as far as like on the field, man, I don't like how, even though he got an offensive coordinator that's very clearly playing the motherfucker, calling the plays, he constantly sitting there with the motherfucking play sheet over his mouth, acting like he's the one calling the plays. And you don't see no other coaches do that shit. If a coach is calling the plays, then he calls the plays, and the offensive coordinator doesn't have the play sheet. Offensive coordinator just sits there like a jackass. Or they don't even have an offensive coordinator at all. They'll just have a head coach that calls the plays. Fucking Andy Reid. No goddamn well he ain't calling no motherfucking plays. It's fucking Bieniemy. Bieniemy calls the fucking plays, has the fucking play sheet in front of his face, talking, and he's probably having to fucking talk everything over with fucking Andy Reid, micromanaging ass. Andy Reid won that shit last year because Mahomes was just so hot, he wasn't gonna let that motherfucker fail. But Mahomes had a concussion previously, which I don't think it mattered all that much until Ndamukong Suh hit that motherfucker. When Ndamukong Suh hit that motherfucker, it was like he jumped up like he didn't even get hit. He jumped up like he didn't know he was down. Like I almost wonder if he had another fucking ding or concussion right there. But Mahomes wasn't very good. The motherfucking offensive line wasn't very good. And the defense was motherfucking, even the honey badger was tripping. It's like they was all like not very motherfucking, they just wasn't focused. That's what it is. Defense constantly bitching about motherfucking plays, constantly motherfucking shoving and fighting after the motherfucking plays. Dumb shit. They wasn't ready to play no Super Bowl. That comes to coaching. You think Bill Belichick team be acting like that? That's another motherfucking coach that took a hit though. Belichick got all that discipline, but him and Brady split up this year. Which I think is funny as shit. Brady goes to the Super Bowl, wins that bitch, and wins the MVP. Belichick doesn't even make the playoffs. So, somebody's legacy probably should take a hit. Anyway, ain't really shit going on in the news. Same old, same old. February 9th, 2021. Walking on the treadmill, watching the Hurt Locker. Not a whole lot going on. They're gonna start that impeachment trial today. It's gonna be a big old jerk off. So it don't matter how much obvious proof they got. These fucking asshole Republicans are not. Maybe 17 of them ain't gonna convict this dickhead. So it's a waste of time, but I guess it's a good way to get on record. Everybody official for the history about what this fucking piece of shit did. And then when these fucking cowards act like it wasn't no big deal, they almost got strung up. Because it would have been an honor to get strung up by the fucking Trump crowd, apparently. Hey, it wasn't no big deal, so they just gonna fucking let him go. But Trump didn't get out there lying constantly about how the motherfucking shit got stolen and all these dumbass conspiracy theories that he was pushing before they kicked his ass off fucking Twitter and shit. I think this motherfucker knows goddamn well that he incited that shit. And I've been through all that anyway, though. He incited it. There's no doubt about that. But he's not gonna admit that he did it, and obviously he's not gonna fucking testify because there's no way his lawyers gonna let him fucking get up there talk that dumb shit. They just gonna talk that dumb shit for him. They gonna try to compare the bullshit that they fucking fomented with Black Lives Matter and Antifa for some reason. Like they gonna try to make that comparison. I don't know if it's just because they fucking base hate black people and they bunch of fascists and fuck get boner every time they hear fucking Black Lives Matter. Whatever it is, that's the fucking defense they're gonna try to use, which is ridiculous because conspiracy versus reality, there's very different reasons that motherfuckers was out there protesting, actually protesting versus having a fucking riot at the goddamn Capitol because you fucking pissed off. That's the fucking defense they gonna use because they racist, and that's all they can ever do is try to fucking be racist and hope that they racist ass base fucking falls for it, which they will because they stupid as shit. The way these motherfuckers play politics, like they think you so stupid. That's what's so fucking annoying. It's like these assholes are on fucking kindergarten level of intellect when it comes to fucking with people and doing dirt. These are some fucking amateurs and they have no clue what they doing. Yet they'll stare at the fucking camera, lie to you like a little kid would, and just expect you to fucking believe that shit. Because they have no respect for your intelligence. And a lot of these motherfucking Republicans, it's right. They shouldn't have any respect for your intelligence. Some of these motherfuckers, I don't know if they really that dumb or if they just embrace the idea of acting stupid as shit. But some of that shit, the fucking insult that you should feel if you a fucking Republican, the way they talk to you motherfuckers, it's goddamn ridiculous. Anyway, that's what they gonna do. They gonna motherfucking further try to, make this goddamn racial thing. They gonna bitch about goddamn how Trump actually won the election, which, I mean, you gotta have big balls to fucking do that shit. But that's all they gonna do is just try to trick and play games and do stupid shit and hope that they dumbass fucking base falls for it. And they will. Deplorables ain't never fucking disappointed. They gonna do they deplorable shit. Anyway, this is about to be a shitty fucking week or two because these motherfucking shits is just gonna completely cover the. This shit is gonna be all about this stupid ass fucking impeachment trial. All news is gonna be about this shit. Anything real happens is gonna get fucking ignored. And these assholes, think about Antifa and Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is saying that my life matters. Antifa is anti-fascist. A bunch of white motherfuckers that are against fascism. Fascism. These are the enemies of fucking Republicans. Because Republicans are racist and they fascist. It's insane. This shit is so ass backwards. And the fact that you got, and you don't even get me started with these motherfuckers. February 9th, ain't shit real going on. Just dumbass fucking bullshit that these assholes, Republicans, is about to fucking spew. Ain't none of it gonna be real. It's gonna be all just like watching fucking Fox News for the next goddamn week. Just assholes pulling the worst goddamn dumbass conspiracies out of their ass and flinging it towards the fucking people. And the Democrats are gonna sit up and try to make a fucking cogent argument against assholes flinging feces. And a bunch of fucking assholes on the right side that are willing to take that feces and eat it up, smear it all over their chin. These motherfuckers suck, man.
Yeah, it's good to sleep, eating well.
February 10th, 2021.
Yeah.
Walking on treadmill, watching the Hurt Locker.
He's gonna get killed. He died yesterday.
This shit's alright.
Proud and strong.
It's just kind of weird. The motherfucking insurgents or the Iraqis, I don't know. They just do shit that seems like fucking stupid as shit. Standing around, motherfucking bombing and shit. Motherfucking quite obviously making it look like you up to some shit. In the face of all these motherfuckers with guns. I don't know. But I guess it makes it kind of an interesting movie. As far as news, ain't shit really new going on, but they started that impeachment. They started that impeachment trial. Fucking Democrats came out swinging. I mean, while it is for symbolism and it's all bullshit, it's like in reality, these motherfuckers are never gonna flip on Trump, but they did get one. So in the beginning they had 5, and then they had one more to make 6 yesterday. So now all they need is flip 11 more through this trial. Today it was all about whether it was fucking in the Constitution, which is a stupid ass fucking thing and a goddamn waste of time, because it quite obviously is. Dipshit got impeached while he was president. He might be out now, but the motherfucking shit that he did happened while he was president. So I don't know, man. It's like I feel like maybe they was right, even though they ain't gonna get a conviction. I think when you show a fucking video as powerful as the one that they started out with, and then after the video came the nerds, one after another, just kicking Trump in the balls. They got some smart motherfuckers on the Democrat side, and the Republican side, they don't know what the fuck they doing. The first thing this motherfucker said was basically, God damn, the Democrats, they got a good ass video. Did y'all see that video? And then he went on to ride the fucking senators and the fucking congressmen's dicks for like a half hour. And then he went on to bitch about how if you Democrats do this shit, and someday the Republicans are gonna be in charge, and they might do something similar. It's like, shut the fuck up. Fucking assholes ever heard of Benghazi? If the Republicans get in charge, they might do some shit. Republicans stay calling stupid ass hearings for stupid ass shit. Shit is fucking insane. That video was no motherfucking joke. They did it all unedited so you can hear all the fuck yous and the fuck the police and the motherfucking all that shit these Law and Order dickholes was talking. I like they did that shit. It's fucking smart. This dude showed a video of like all the shit we all seen before, but a lot of the shit had the cussing beeped out, and they showed it all in one 13-minute video where it was like juxtaposed with Trump's speech. So he'll say some shit like, so we're gonna go to the Capitol, and then you see some dickheads walking off and like, okay, let's go to the Capitol. And then he get to talking that shit, and it's just was showing the motherfuckers responding to him in real time, and what was going on in the Congress in real time. Been there and discussed all that shit, but when you see Them beating that shit out of that fucking dude with the flagpole. Them dragging that fucking dude out of the goddamn police into the crowd, beating the shit out of him, talking about shooting with his own gun.
All right, solutions, anyone?
And you see these motherfuckers smashing that cop into that fucking doorway and gouging out his eyes and all the shit these Law and Order assholes was pulling. It's fucking laughable. For these motherfuckers to try to pretend that Trump didn't play no part in that shit, they gonna go down in history. So it's kind of smart that Nancy Pelosi gonna hold these motherfuckers to account one way or another. They ain't gonna convict this dude because, like I said, these motherfuckers were some goddamn profiles in cowardice. Say they won. The Rand Pauls, they're just little smarmy, dirty fucking snakes. These dudes, it don't matter. It don't matter how obviously the fucking argument is made. It's all about they're on Team Trump. So it don't fucking matter that they were almost all got, because when them motherfuckers came through, it was Republicans talking all that shit about how they object to this election and all that bullshit. Basically the reason why this shit was going on in the first place, this fucking riot. And as soon as the Secret Service told the dumbass Republicans that was speaking that, hey, the protesters are in the building, they didn't say, oh, well, I'm a Republican. I'm part of these guys. They respect me. Them motherfuckers bitched up, got scared as fuck, and went running with the fucking Secret Service, just like the Democrats. Fucking Republicans got a lot of nerve, man. They stirred up this fucking riot. The riot was coming to kill anybody that got in its way. And these bitch ass motherfuckers got the nerve to pretend nothing to see here, no big deal. Fuckers are gonna goddamn pay for that shit in the fucking pages of history, because there's no way you gonna come out looking good. That fucking Jewish dude started crying. Everybody felt that shit, cause he was like, man, my daughter don't even want to come back to the Capitol, and everybody was right there. He's like, you know what, man, I wouldn't want to come back to that motherfucker neither. I understand exactly where your daughter coming from, and that's fucked up. All I know is Trump lucky that he dealing with some bitch ass Republicans, boy, because they got him cold. That motherfucker is guilty as charged. I don't give a fuck who you are. I'll guarantee you most Republicans that saw that shit today, they ain't seeing no shit like that on Newsmax, fucking Fox. They whitewashed the shit out of that motherfucker, try to make it like it was Antifa. That was Antifa. Black Lives Matter. Fucking assholes. But you see that motherfucking tape. A lot of them motherfuckers that wanted to pretend because they were staying in that bubble, they came out of that bubble. If they watched that motherfucking tape, which I gotta imagine a lot of motherfuckers did, They can say whatever they want on Fox and shit, but when you play that shit unfiltered and show what's really going on,
Eldridge, we need ammo.
that shit hurt. The fucking Republicans didn't have nothing for that shit.
Check out the dead guy, man. Kill the dead man.
I was thinking,
Eldridge, I'm lucky. We need that ammo, man.
I think I'm gonna do a
Here.
goddamn thing about love. What love is and what love means and what it's meant to me. Cause probably don't hear a lot of black men talk about love. So I guess first part I would talk about would probably be
Eldridge, you gotta clean the blood up, man. It's making a jam.
you know what? I'm gonna do that shit another day.
Clean the blood up.
I wanna have my thoughts thought out on this shit a little more than the normal slapdashery that I do on this.
Hey, clean it, man. Spit and rub.
So it ain't gonna be today, but
Spit and
Yeah.
rub, buddy. Spit and rub.
I'm gonna try to fucking come up with something honest.
It's not coming off.
Honest and non-offensive. Alright, February 10th. Like I said, it ain't gonna be shit on the news because these motherfuckers cannot walk and chew gum at the same time. So anytime there's a big news story going on, even though there's shit going on in the world, motherfuckers is gonna act like this is the only thing happening. So Trump assholes got tricked into going down there thinking they were doing the patriotic thing. Fuck you. Those were not a bunch of little kids. There's a group of assholes throwing a tantrum. So fucking coddling these fucking punk ass bitches. Talking about, oh, they got duped into thinking that the election was stolen. No, peek your fucking head out of the fucking bubble, motherfucker. Yes, they got incited by a piece of shit. But that don't excuse it. It wouldn't excuse me if I let some asshole geek me up into going and beating the shit out of somebody. I couldn't say, oh, well, that guy told me to do it, so I just get off. No, it doesn't work like that. Those fucking pieces of shit should be held accountable just like any other adult. And the asshole that fucking incited them should also be held accountable for incitement of an insurrection. But these are not just a bunch of innocent fucking poor people that just got duped. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit argument. I know what they trying to do. They just don't want to fucking savage these MAGA assholes. It's like I said yesterday, the Republicans are doing it enough for them. But coddling these motherfuckers, talking about how they all poor, they're just a bunch of poor victims of Trump's Machiavellian deceivery. Get the fuck out of here. These people suck and they knew what they were doing. And if it was Ukrainians instead of maggots, it wouldn't even be a question. We'd be bombing Ukraine right the fuck now, whether their government had anything to do with that shit or not. And let it would have been some fucking Iraqis. Let it would have been some fucking Somalians. We would be bombing the shit out of their country right now if they pulled even half of what these fucking maggots pulled, and all these fucking Republicans trying to pretend like it ain't no big deal. Imagine if it was a bunch of Democrats. I will guarantee you if fucking a big ass Black Lives Matter protest broke out into a riot and they stormed the fucking Capitol, hell bent on snatching up anybody they fucking came across, the Democrats in the Senate would not be protecting them like these bitch ass Republicans are protecting these fucking maggots. I'm just saying, man, there is a clear difference in these fucking political parties. Sometimes I don't like it when Democrats throw their peoples under the bus so quickly. But one thing that will tell you is they don't put up with no bullshit. They don't fucking pretend to not see something just because motherfuckers on their team. If you see a motherfucker doing wrong, which sometimes I think they go overboard, they call them out on that shit. Republicans are some sorry excuses for Americans. These are bad Americans and fucking opposite of patriots. These fucking people suck. All of them. Nah, not all of them. It's still a tent. Motherfucking. I was watching CNN earlier with this impeachment shit. And this chick, Laura Coates, she's like smart as shit. This is one of the what do you call them? Pundits. She's a smart motherfucker. She black. She was like the way the impeachment motherfuckers handled this shit. It's like the way Trump geeked these dipshits up over the fucking months after he lost the election. She said it was like a motherfucking coach, like talking to his team, and the motherfucking when you know how where the coaches start out like he'll start out calm and then it'll start raising the temperature until you know the guys are first they're like yeah and then they're agreeing with them and then they're like yeah you know and then they stand up and like yeah motherfucker start bouncing off each other and smashing each other and shit. And by the time the end of the fucking speech is going, motherfuckers are so geeked up they can't even hear what he's saying. It don't even matter what he's saying. They bashing the fucking walls, bouncing off each other. One time, I remember this story about the fucking Chicago Bears. Back in 85, these motherfuckers was wild as shit. There's like a bunch of party animals on defense. On offense, they try to keep it all professional and shit. So Dick could run the offense and Buddy Ryan run the defense. Buddy Ryan is like this gruff old curmudgeon of an old white dude. But you know he loved his defense and his players, so the fucking defense was basically hands off for the head coach. And they had two different like speeches going into the Super Bowl. One of them was from Dick addressing the whole team, and then Buddy Ryan addressing the offense or the defense. Buddy Ryan like this. Dick could get in there and spew all this normal, you know, business fucking type shit. And then Buddy Ryan came up, talked to these motherfuckers, and I think it was Singletary maybe, he was explaining how they felt while Buddy Ryan was talking to him. Because the defense said he give a fuck about Mike Dicker. It's like he was an opening act. But Buddy Ryan came up and started talking that old wise defensive coordinator shit. And I think it was Singletary. He said by the time these motherfuckers were so geeked up, this dude named McMichael, he's a big ass offensive lineman, like they were pushing and punching and slapping and just fucking all of them was all geeked up from this shit, that McMichael grabbed a fucking chair and threw it so hard that it went through this fucking chalkboard and stuck into this chalkboard that's basically like stuck to a fucking brick wall. Like he threw the motherfucking chair that hard that one of the legs stuck into the shit. And then after that, they just all went fucking bananas. So they went out and crushed the motherfucking Super Bowl. They beat the shit out of the Patriots. I remember that because that was the last time the Bears was any good. But that do remind me of how these motherfuckers was acting. Instead of a halftime speech, he's been giving these assholes a very kind of certain speech of, you've been cheated. Motherfuckers is hating on you. You know what I'm saying? I won that election. All that shit is a landslide. And they keep themselves in that little fucking bubble, like a locker room. They're in that bubble and they ain't hear nothing else from nobody. They ain't listening to no fucking news. They ain't trying to hear shit. And he's telling them all this shit ever since November at least. But in reality, he fucking forecasted what he was gonna do years ago. So anybody with a brain paying attention to that shit knew what he was doing. But after he lost this fucking election, it really was like a coach's speech, building up, you know, in crescendo over those 2 or 3 months till finally January 6th came. Yeah, so it was 2 months. It was all planned around January 6th. He knew he lost. He knew he was gonna lose. So he actually started this shit before he even actually lost the election. He tried all kinds of fuckery, but knowing that shit might not work, like the fucking trials that he lost and different fucking secretaries of state he called up, none of that shit worked. So he always had the fucking final plan was to finally have these motherfuckers meet up in January 6th, the day he knew the Capitol would be fucking, or the Congress would be certifying that Electoral College. This fucking piece of shit. That was the last ditch effort. That fucking insurrection. He got in trouble. He's actually gonna face criminal charges for what he did in Georgia. Remember that second perfect phone call? That motherfucker gonna be in trouble for that shit. Cause Georgia coming after his ass, and ain't nobody gonna be able to pardon him except the Georgia governor that he been shitting on for the last like 6 months. So that shit's gonna get crazy because they got him cold, trying to threaten, trying to get that motherfucker to find a specific number of votes. Not that I think there's some irregularities, but I need you to find me 11,780 votes. That's criminal, man. Anybody else did that shit, they'd be in jail. They've been in jail by now. Because he's the president, they gonna act like they gonna need to do some big investigation and shit. I guarantee you something else. That motherfucker probably got dozens of them perfect phone calls out there. It's just most of these motherfuckers didn't record them. And I guarantee you Georgia wasn't the only motherfuckers that he was hitting up. This shit. Every time I see, I'm telling you, man, Democrats is on another level as far as being smart. Democrats fucking nerds. These motherfuckers know what they doing as far as this shit go. And the way a really smart motherfucker like Laura Coates can just break it down like real simple for us fucking Neanderthals to understand. That dude is so fucking guilty, it's not even funny.
Clear. Hey.
It really was.
Cigarettes, don't smoke it.
The fucking beginning of halftime was after he lost the election. He comes in and gives him a motherfucking speech, and it starts out low. And he's like, yeah, we're down now, but everybody's counting us out. But just trust in me, and we're gonna get through this. And from there, he builds it to, all I want from you is one play where you do something outstanding. And he builds from there, and the guys are like nodding, like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, point somebody out in the crowd, like, you, Lindsey Graham. I want you to go out there and smash some motherfucker in the face. And Lindsey Graham stands up like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna fucking smash him. Everybody's getting fucking geeked up and shit. Actually, Lindsey Graham. Nah, I ain't finna do that. But
grab all the C4 and decorate your hands out there.
Lindsey Graham ain't never been that manly as to smash anybody in their fucking face. But that's the fucking metaphor. And he gets up all geeked up and shit. And these motherfuckers get geeked. And then by the time January 6th come around, it's time to start the third quarter. And that motherfucker's like, listen, we going out there and we gonna fucking smash these Capitol assholes and get them to fucking understand where the fuck we coming from. And by that time, motherfuckers is throwing goddamn chairs through brick walls because they so fucking geeked up by this asshole that they consider their ultimate coach, dear leader. Fuck, greatest president that ever lived. Greatest at getting impeached. They fucking getting his ass. They ain't gonna convict him, but man, he ain't gonna be able to fucking whitewash this shit through history. Fox is always gonna have their influence, but they can't influence what's being shown on this shit. Whether they like it or not, they fucking audience is gonna get a taste of reality. Now, does that mean they gonna fucking believe it or eat it up or just ignore it like they always do? Most likely. But some of them can't help it. Some of these motherfuckers got common sense that they've been trying to ignore. They gonna see that shit and they ain't gonna be able to ignore it. It just slightly peek outside the bubble and we got your ass. Because that fucking evidence is compelling. These senators, they're never going to do the right thing. But they know what they should be doing. They can ignore it all they want. With some shameful activity. When you that scared of a motherfucker, that him and his people almost, because when you look at the fucking time frames on that shit, that mob got close to getting them motherfuckers. They were evacuating while the mob was coming in. While the first of the mob was coming in. So, I don't know. These motherfuckers on the Republican side, I think this is more of a fucking like trial on them. These Senate Republicans. Because everybody know Trump guilty. Motherfuckers just want to see if these bitch ass motherfuckers are going to let Trump get away with it. This trial is on the Senate. February 11th, 2021. Walking on a treadmill. Watching it. Hurt Locker. Still. This motherfucker. I don't know, man. I just ain't never been in that situation. Maybe these motherfuckers do be acting crazy as fuck. Just walking up to motherfuckers pointing guns at them and shit. Some good action in this motherfucking. As far as news goes. I just told the Rational National motherfuckers to shut the fuck up with all that Bernie Bro bitching and shit. It's like these motherfuckers is holding a grudge against Neera Tanden or whatever her name is, because she was in Hillary Clinton's campaign. So these motherfuckers want to be bitching that she sent out some mean tweets. You hurt Bernie's feelings. Even Bernie said that old bitch ass shit. Bernie like, he's talking to her. He's like, I'm not gonna say that it really hurt my feelings, but you sent out a lot of mean stuff to people, and there's a lot of people don't like the stuff that you sent on Twitter. So, you fucking 14-year-old, these motherfuckers bitching about somebody's fucking mean tweets that was in a campaign against them. This many years later. And like in that campaign, like the Bernie fucking assholes were so fucking congenial, and they were just so great, and everybody was just so mean to them. I remember that fucking campaign. These motherfuckers need to step the fuck back and recognize that, hey, I'm not no big Neera Tanden fan. I ain't no big fucking Hillary Clinton fan. But there's a very obvious reason why Democrats don't fuck with Bernie the way these motherfuckers are so surprised. Democrats don't fuck with Bernie because he don't speak real about what he's truly about. He ain't never done it. So motherfuckers can say all this shit they think they know about fucking Bernie, but none of us know shit. Cause let me tell you something. There's three kind of motherfucking socialists that I know of. USSR, Nazis, and Black Panthers. So clearly socialism is a big fucking umbrella. There's a lot of groups under that fucking umbrella. So when a motherfucker say, I'm socialist, you ain't saying shit. I have no fucking idea what your goddamn politics could be. Because you could either be a fucking Nazi over here or a fucking Black Panther over here. These are very different fucking ideologies. You can't just say I'm a socialist. That don't make no fucking sense. You have to say what kind of socialist you are. Hey, you type of socialist that believe in $15 an hour. I respect that. You type of socialist that believe that everybody should fucking get taken care of, no matter what they fucking socioeconomic status. I respect that. That sounds like the Black Panther kind of socialist. But have you ever heard that motherfucker say anything about the Black Panthers? Cause I haven't. And I watch a lot of fucking TV. So I'm pretty sure if he was espousing Black Panther theology, I would have fucking heard it by now. So he ain't a Black Panther type. Okay, so obviously he's not a Nazi because he's fucking Jew. And I don't know, maybe he's fucking like is in Soviet Union. Their type of socialism is supposedly derived from what? Lenin? From how he fucking derived his shit from fucking Karl Marx? I don't know none of that shit good enough, but Bernie could explain it if that's what he was down with. And he's always chosen to keep that shit between him and his people. So that's one reason why I personally don't fuck with Bernie. If he would come out and say, yeah, I'm down with the Black Panthers, that's the fucking way I've been my whole goddamn career, and this is why I do what I do and think what I think, I would respect that. If he said there's some kind of Jewish tradition that is all about socialism and take care of everybody, I respect that. If he said my shit comes from fucking Chomsky, I don't know, any of these motherfuckers, I would respect it. If this motherfucker said, look, man, there's some good things about Hitler, that's where my motherfucking ideology comes from. At least he's saying what he truly believes in. Now, maybe at some point he has. Back in the past, I'm supposed to go looking around for what this motherfucker believe in when he could just tell me? Now, I know the reason why a lot of Democrats don't fuck with Bernie, and a lot of these young motherfuckers is too fucking young to goddamn understand or remember this shit. But when I first started seeing Bernie like really get on the world stage, Bernie was known for two things. He was like a fucking liberal that was getting a good grade from the NRA. So he stood out. And the other thing is, this motherfucker's an independent. Every time I would see him on like the Bill Maher show or the Daily Show or any kind of motherfucking show, this motherfucker would take way more time to shit on the Democrats. Shit on what the Democrats were doing, shit on what the Democrats were thinking, and he didn't have really anything bad to say about the Republicans. This motherfucker is an independent. He's not a Democrat. He just runs with the Democrat when it's convenient. And that's kind of fucking gross. So that's another thing that fucking is a strike, because soon as that motherfucker get done running, that I disappear, that D disappears from in front of his name, and it becomes an I. So it's like a real kind of gross, right in front of your fucking face fakeness. This dude is not a Democrat. I'm not a Democrat. But I ain't finna fucking try to take over their party neither. If you gonna be coming to somebody else's fucking party and you got the nerve to fucking bitch about every fucking thing that's going on in this party, if you at my fucking party, I'm gonna ask you, why the fuck are you here? If you fucking hate what's going on so much in this motherfucker, why the fuck are you here? Oh, it makes me popular just being here. Okay, then shut the fuck up. If the only reason you're a Democrat is because it makes you more popular when you run for president, that's a trifling ass reason to be a Democrat. You got all these great ideas, all these motherfuckers know you so well, then you should have ran as a motherfucking independent, a goddamn socialist, and you gonna take over this motherfucking bullshit ass goddamn capitalism that's been fucking over everybody. But nope, you chose to join the motherfuckers that you call the corporate class. All that shit that you talk about these people, you joined them. All you young motherfuckers don't know shit about Bernie. I've been watching Bernie the last 20 years. And the one thing when he ran in 2016 that I would have never fucking expected, after all the shit this dude talked about fucking Democrats, I would have never expected him to run for president as a Democrat. So that is where that big ass split in the Democrats came from in 2016, where everybody over 30 was down with Hillary and everybody under 30 was down with Bernie. It's because the under 30s didn't know the fucking history. And the over 30s had seen plenty of Bernie shitting on them. And then this dude has the fucking nerve to run as a Democrat, and you fucking Bernie bros got the nerve to be bitching? Seriously, man. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. Bernie might be a great guy. Bernie might be the smartest, best fucking thing that ever happened to liberal politics and progressivism. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a progressive. I am for progress for everybody. Equally. Now, I bet you one thing, if I was motherfucking a goddamn senator, I wouldn't have got a good grade from the NRA. The NRA is bullshit organization. I ain't finna get into that, but anybody gets a good grade for them is probably an asshole. So it's so much shit that motherfuckers just choose to ignore. History happened not long ago that you're just choosing to ignore. Out of spite. Going in on fucking Neera Tanden. She was in the campaign that was opposite of yours, and you fucking assholes in that goddamn campaign, I watched it, were vicious as fuck to Hillary Clinton and her fucking people. Jesus Christ, you crashed the fucking convention. Fuck Bernie.